Martin, we are all set for you. Mark Gio.
Hi, yeah, my name is Martin Gio. And my question is, why is rock music fading? First of all, how many of you here like listening to rock music? That's good, that's good. So what is rock music? So it's the use of blues forms and presence of rock instruments such as electric guitar, electric bass, and electric organ, and electric piano. So rock music is basically instrumentally driven genre. So why is it fascinating to me? So I grew up with my father, who loved rock music. He used to play in random events and used to show me a lot of things that I could have never seen about, like backstage, like how concerts work. And he influenced me to play the guitar, which I played for 7 years now. And he entered me in contests like Battle of the Bands for 2 years, and I actually won 3 out of 5 of them. And I was fascinated how the guitar is an instrument that's very versatile. It's used in many types of music, and it has sounds that are not used in other types of music. So these are the decades where rock music has been very popular. In the 60s, the Beatles was the foundation for the nostalgia of being in a band. So they had an influence on people to actually make a band and have teamwork. For the 70s, the Ramones was the foundation for punk rock, and it's where it's usually rebellious and mostly towards the youth, like being against your parents, being against school, things like that. In the 80s, Metallica, my favorite, they were one of the foundations for metal and hard rock, and they introduced fast, like hard beats and fast ways of playing instruments. And in the 90s, Red Hot Chili Peppers was one of the foundations for alternative rock, which is mostly based around society and how things work these days. These are the most popular genres today: hip-hop, pop music, and rap. And you typically hear them in radios and are typically in advertisements today, unlike rock music, because they are more hip and like most kids love them more. So the ways that rock music is declining. So today, as everyone know, we all live fast lives. We go to school, we go to work. Some of us even have work after school. And we usually listen to music in the bus or in the car. And rock music is typically music that takes a long period of time and has a lot of meaning in the lyrics. So pop music and rap music are easy to comprehend, unlike rock music, and it's easier to decipher. So this is why people are listening to more pop music, and plus they're more played in the radio. And technology is fascinating. Who doesn't like technology? No. Yeah. So as technology advances, we're typically staying with something that's simpler. We want something easy to digest, easy to understand, and it influences music too, because how we have soundboards that can make electronically made sounds that are typically popular today. And parties. Everyone goes to parties, right? Yeah. So in parties, people typically dance, and rock music isn't fit for that. Like, rock music's like headbanging or something, and pop music has beats that move with your body. So for my research, I interviewed Mr. Patel since he was a teacher who actually loved these kind of music and actually talked to him about it. And I asked him what tones does rock music convey, and he said joy, anger, love, hate, and every other mood. So this just shows that rock music has tones that pop music and rap music have too. Because typically when some people ask me what music I like, I said rock, they start headbanging and thinking that it's all about being rebellious, which is not the case. And I found this experiment that Duncan Watts, professor from Harvard, he had an experiment where he took two groups, a socially influenced group and a inverse socially influenced group. So they were given songs from unknown artists, and secretly the inverse influenced group was told that the terrible songs that the socially influenced group loved were the good ones. And surprisingly, they conform to it just because they think it's popular and hip. And it's actually giving more support to music that is not liked. And this quote stands out. It's from another professor named Patrick Kelly. He says, "We're settling for what is simpler and more readily digestible." Like how I said earlier, how technology influences us to live our lives simply. So the fading art, like before, music was mostly based on instruments, on talent. Like today, when I ask people what they love to do on their free time, it's typically watch TV, play video games, and talent isn't there. Well, sports. Playing an instrument isn't typically in the radar, and like before, playing instruments is the best way to be impressive with people and just to have something to achieve. So my solution is to influence you guys or other people to play instruments. To me, it gives me a sense of achievement and gives me something to say, to impress people, and it helps you increase memory capacity, perseverance, coordination, and sharpens concentration and gives a sense of achievement. It doesn't want to be happy doing what they love. And not only that, it also opens up to new music preferences. If you play an instrument, you'll be able to love other types of music like jazz, blues, or classical music because they have instruments in them. And you could actually get new techniques that you could incorporate to your own type of music.